Okay, we're running a few minutes late to let everybody get here, but we'll go ahead and get this started with the Nichols County Parks and Recreation Commission. Today is Thursday, October 28th of the year 2021, and it is 6:11 p.m. A few board members could not be with us for the short notice that we did give for this rescheduled meeting. Ms. Bell is on a planned vacation, as well as Mr. Lewis, and Mr. Roberts is dropping off his son for a military deployment. I have not heard from Mr. Myers, but he is also not here. That being said, of the members who have been here previously only, we have a motion to approve the minutes of the previous park board meeting as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, another previous board member would like to second that.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry. And Mary, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you, would you mind being secretary until the election? Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you. Well, no, yeah, it's in my notes, I just never asked it. Thank you. That being said, up next we do have the public comment, and we do have Commissioner Craig Chapman with us.
I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who's come on the board, and I'd like to say thank you to the previous board member also. The change that the commission made, we just feel it's for the better of the park. It's nothing personal. It has nothing to do with that. It's just, we feel like we want a certain direction. We tried to make that clear. It didn't seem to be. So now we've decided to take on this in this direction and see if we can make it better. And that's really the only goal we have, is to make this park the center point of Nichols County.
Anyone else?
And thank you, James, for your work and staying on board with us and staying with us through this stuff.
Anything I can do to help.
Anyone else from public comment? Hearing none, I was sworn in by County Clerk Robert Painter. However, of all the board members here, if you wouldn't mind standing up, please raise your right hand, and I'll just read it. You can say you know I do, because it'll be a little quicker for everybody. Okay, raise your right hand, please. You, as a member of the Nichols County Parks and Recreation Commission, do solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of West Virginia, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of Park and Recreation Commissioner to the best of your skills and judgments to help you God. Thank you. If you wouldn't mind just signing your affidavit, please get that back to me. That would just need to be recorded with the county clerk. So, thank you for that. That being said, up next we have your finance report. If you look at your packet provided by Manager Adkins there, about halfway through. The first one will be the pool account. The pool account had a beginning balance of $8,832.05. It had an income of $5. Making that total $8,837.05. For the expenses, there is utilities of $1,216.75, Frontier Internet and phone of $89.21, payroll $1,117.93, and a porta-john rental for $50. Total expenses would be $2,473.89, with the balance of the pool account as of October 14th would be $6,363.16. Is there a motion to approve this financial report for the pool account?
I'll move it.
Okay, motion's on the floor for a second. Thank you, Gary. Mr. Gerald seconded that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. Next page, you'll find the general account with a beginning balance of $47,896.80. Income of $450 worth of rentals, $15,018.82 for the second quarter contributions. James, that's from the commission.
Correct.
Yeah. And the the golf course money that the commission collects and then resends to the park is $4,130.51. The total of $67,496.13. You can see quite a list of expenses there from power, water, everything else. With the total expenses being $14,955.91, with an ending balance as of October 14th of $52,540.22. So if there's a motion to approve the general account financial report. Okay, the motion's on the floor, is there any discussion? Second, thank you. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. For the bills that we have to sign here as the new board, James has them if you would like to review them. Otherwise, just ask for board approval to sign and make sure all those bills are.
Did you, on that check that you got through that I had to sign?
Oh, yeah, for the mower maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah, it was,
$540 or something?
yeah, a little more than $540 for maintenance on that mower. I'm not sure if that's an acceptable amount at the time we need to get maintenance done, or if you would like me to learn how to do it to maybe save some money. But he wasn't very happy that everything was happening the way it was, and I was trying to explain to him that, they just dissolved the board. We're waiting for new board members right
I
now.
wasn't very happy.
The Bob Graver.
Yeah, okay.
And he's like, well, I don't care about any of that. I want my money, or I want my mower. That's what he said. So Eugene just happened to be around, and he was still at one of the authorized signers,
Right.
and he went ahead and signed the check for him. So.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, the other check didn't go through or something. I don't know what happened to it. Do you?
No, well, yeah, we sent another check out, and he said that he never received it. So
Make sure that's canceled.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
And that's already been paid. Yeah, so you don't approve it. Okay. Committee reports, obviously, don't have very many committees right now unless you have any standing ones that continue. Manager's report.
Well, I've begun winterizing the cabins. It got pretty chilly here the other night, 38 degrees, so I went ahead and started turning off water. Haven't done anything with the bathroom out there yet because they are having that, as far as I know, they're still having that softball tournament this weekend, so on Saturday. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that open because the weather says it's supposed to be above freezing, for the foreseeable future anyway. I went ahead and installed a new sump pump over at the pool as well, so that's good to go. That thing can pump out over 5,000 gallons an hour, so should be more than enough capacity for what they need it for. AC still not working. I did call Brogan's Heat and Air. It's the same thing that was wrong with it the last time. The blower fan in it is seized up, and they said that they would call me back and let me know when they would be available to come out here, but as of right now, I haven't heard anything. So I'm going to call them in the morning and see what they say. I've also...
And that's what you just had worked on, right?
Right, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Before that, it was the actual AC unit, which cost us $2,000 to fix, and then that AC blower wasn't working after that, and it was another almost $300. So I don't know what the issue is. I mean, he did say that it might get us through the rest of this season, but he said next year we're probably going to replace all of it.
For the whole building? or-
Replace what?
The entire AC system. I've started checking on the Christmas lights. I've been trying to do as much as I can, and it's not a slight against Frank. He just hasn't been able to be here really at all over the past 2 weeks. So I've been trying to do as much as I can. He did call me yesterday and let me know that his vehicle is still having issues, and that's why he hasn't been here. So hopefully they'll be able to get something done about that, and he'll be able to start coming back to work soon. The past couple of months, Mary Brown is the manager for the pool, for those who don't know. we've been trying to get the social security numbers for the new lifeguards at the pool. I need them because we need to have them for whenever it's time to give them their W-2s for tax season, and I need them for when we pay our quarterly amounts for workforce for workers' comp. Or, yeah. But I don't know if it's, sorry, not workers' comp, unemployment. But I'm not sure if they think that I might, if I'm trying to misuse their information, or if they just don't have time to get it to me, or whatever. But it's extremely important that we get that, because if we don't, our rates at workforce are going to start going up. And it's been 2 quarters since I've been trying to get this done, and I've gotten a few, but not nearly all the ones.
Wow.
Let's regroup on that here just a little bit, if you don't mind.
And I've also started pruning a lot of the stuff that we went around that one day, you kept showing me. So Frank and I actually did get to, pruning a lot of that when he was here. And we actually moved that bush away from that power meter.
Yes,
as well.
that's
Yep. And I'd say tomorrow I'm probably gonna go out here and cut that limb hanging over the fence at the dining hall over there, because it's really bothering me. What's that?
Like laying on the fence.
No, it's just hanging over, but it's right there. It goes all the way out to the parking spot where people park their cars. And it's been pretty windy here lately, and I'm afraid it's gonna snap off there.
Okay. Is there any objection to that?
No. Dream it up.
Yeah, there we go, good job.
Other than that, that's all I have
Okay.
for now.
Any questions for the manager?
Yeah, I mean, I do want to ask about your Christmas lights.
Yep.
I mean, what do you think you're going to do? I mean, are you going to get it done?
I'm going to do my absolute best. I was actually going to get with Mr. Gerald over here and see if he might be able to get some.
I mean, that's been our problem for years. I mean, you don't have enough help to get them up.
Right.
And that's what we need. Somebody to,
And usually it's about this time when we start getting that stuff ready, so that way.
you've got to.
Exactly.
Well, we've helped with that project for
Last year.
every year.
Yeah. Had it not been for them last year, we would have never got all that stuff.
That's right. I mean, we've never had enough help to do it. That's
Right. Otherwise, it would have just been 3 of us trying to get it done.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. But we appreciate it. Yeah, if they come up and great, I would.
Oh yeah, it definitely made things go a lot faster.
I mean, that's a big.
Well, I just, like I said, I read some comments in the Chronicle about the day report, which, frankly, I didn't appreciate about us, our help up here. I mean, we've helped the park, as long as we've been open. Our primary goal is not to, to come up here and help the park every day. I mean, we have other services that we have to perform, and we'll be glad to help him in any way possible, or help the park in any way possible. But, say I'm saying that we're sending people up there and we don't send them, it's just hogwash. I mean, we'll be glad to help you all in any way possible. Get caught up. There's always certain things our guys can do. I mean, our guys can't ride a mower, they can't drive a truck, they can't, they can only weed eat or pick up garbage or whatever. But, to say that we don't help you all is absurd.
Well, I've heard that, because I really have. I've been here for a long time. They don't, all you have to do is ask the manager and see what they tell us. I mean, James was the one that.
There have been a couple times where I called down to, and I'm not trying to do this to throw anybody under the bus or slight against anyone, but there's been a couple of times where I called down there and asked if we could get some people up there, where I was told, yes, we will send some people up there, and then nobody showed up.
Okay.
And like I said, it's not I'm not throwing it as a slight against anyone. I'm just stating the facts as if they were. But
Well, one thing I'll add to that actually is because I have some similar concerns. I'll tell you the truth, I did. However, I got to looking into it, and thanks to Gary and also the probation office. At the end of the day, DRC is a program, not a service.
right.
And right now, we have a lot of people getting out and not a lot of people coming back in.
Right.
And so really, they've been shorthanded, help with some commission, stuff like that too, but it's just their availability. So
Well, next meeting, I'll provide you, as long as I can go back, I'll provide you the hours. And what we do is this is the way we work off a grant. I'm just going to, I don't mean to waste anybody's time, but we work off a grant. The commission provides 30% of what we get for that grant. So what we do is, the community service we provide for the commission first. park, animal shelter, courthouse mowing, maintenance in the courthouse, anything the commission involves, we help them. So we keep those hours and how many people do it, and we times it by $10 an hour. So every year we pay back the commission their money. I mean, if they gave us $40,000 this year, but even through the COVID crisis, we can look on the paper and say we did this, this, and this with the commission at a rate of $10 an hour, and we paid you back your money. So I can bring you the next meeting. I'll bring you what we've done for the park over the past however many years I can go back, and I can assure you that it's probably quite higher than anywhere else in the county. So I'll be glad to do that for you all.
I'd like to see it myself. I mean, just,
Yeah, I
appreciate it.
I mean, we keep the records and we keep the I mean, it's.
Well, this is a good opportunity to work on that, our
Right.
relationship with them in both directions. And, see what we can do.
because that's the reason I enjoy this park, and I've been on this park board for like years, and I was a coach and manager and president of the Little League and all that. And yes, this is.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I haven't worked with him that much because of COVID. I mean, frankly, we COVID affected everyone. So for 2 years, especially in the summer, I mean, we've been affected. So, we didn't want to send people out. I know we'd be outside. However, I mean, it's affected us all. But now, the only problems we've had in the past, I mean, a couple of managers we've had in the past at the park are the only people we've had problems with. I mean, I don't care if we send one person, if they pick up one piece of trash, there's one piece of trash you don't have to pick up. I mean, I just frankly don't understand why somebody can come up and say that we're not providing a service when I know the heck we are. And I know it hasn't been that much lately, but I'm just,
And that's when I'm talking about, the times that, nobody came up here, that was just here lately.
I get that. And like I said, last month we were shut down for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, there have been outbreaks down there too. I'm not trying to pick one side or the other.
Oh, I'm not trying to pick a fight either. I mean, I'm just saying, we totally intend to get back, the Christmas lights are one of the things the guys like to do. I mean, they'll.
Yeah, and they were big help.
Well, that's one of our biggest things in the county, actually. I mean, their people come from everywhere to look at these lights. And the kids love it, so
Yeah.
I think we need to, do it bigger and better every year if we can.
I think that's good. I think that's good. Yeah, so.
Hey, James, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of lights, the bathroom lights down there are on like all the time. By the barn.
Okay,
And
right.
there may be some others. Can we get some of those electronic things that, like, when you're not there, they shut themselves off?
Right, I did mention that once before at a previous, I think probably about 3 or 4 meetings ago. Well, I mentioned it to Susan, I should say, but she didn't seem really receptive of it.
Could you put them in?
Oh, yeah,
You
absolutely.
tell me how many you need, and I'll bring
I
them.
think we actually have some down there. So, and it wouldn't be hard to put those in at all.
I can even do
Well,
that.
that's a good deal. If you don't, let Craig know.
Absolutely.
Get those in, because they'd be,
If I have any issues, I'll give you a call, Trey, if that's okay.
That's fine.
did you mention to the board about the new basketball hoop?
Oh, yeah, I
And
put up,
the street lights is all they're all burning.
let's see, as far as I know, they're all working. That one down there behind the 4-H building, right off to the side of the barn shelter, that one stays on 24/7. It doesn't go off. I don't know if the sundown sensor or one is messed up or busted, but it's on constantly, and it does cost us, when it's on all the time like that. But as far as I know, the rest of them are good to go. Haven't had any
Are
issues.
they put up by the power company?
Right, yes. And I was under the
Well, they'll
impression.
come and do it, won't they?
Should.
Right.
Yeah, they should.
To replace any of them that needs to.
Are some of those on the switch that you can turn them off? Or do they all stay?
No, just that one down there it stays on all the time, just that. None of
Because sometimes we're up here walking in the morning and it's still dark,
Mhm.
and there'd be two or three of them that's not working.
That's what I was
And
thinking.
I didn't know if they were on a switch that you turn them off, or should all of them be burned?
No, they should definitely be working. So
I'll
it might be a burnt
I'll
bulb.
let you know tomorrow.
Okay, good.
Well, this is something I was actually gonna bring up in the new business, but now that we're talking about it. James, if you could just kind of do an audit of all the properties and all the electrical needs you need. I mean, electrical's a pretty important thing, you know, of course, especially like the lights and, you know, stuff like that. If you could get us an idea of what all you truly need, you know, that could be something for some of these grants and stuff like that we need to be looking at to get some serious upgrades on that, okay?
All right, I've got a partial list together, but there are some other things I need to put on it, so once I get the rest of them put on there, I'll bring it to you.
Anything else from Amanda?
How do you want to tell everybody about the rooms?
Oh, right. Jennifer brought some new basketball rims down, and Frank and I put those up. Very nice rims. And then I painted the backboards, repainted the backboards, put new nets on, and it looks a lot better. I wish I had a way to show you pictures, but it looks a lot better than it did. A lot better.
The commission bought those.
The commission.
Commissioner Chapman.
Yes, Mr. Chapman.
And there's already been some kids talking about how much better they were, those rims are, than the old ones that were up there. So, and they definitely enjoy it.
Well, I mean, they should.
That's one of the most used places on the park.
How about the lights on the basketball?
Yeah, they work. They work. There's kids up there playing in the dark.
That's why I-
That's popular.
Yeah.
I mean, they play all the time up there.
Yep. Yeah, so those lights are still working.
Are they bright enough?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, lights up the whole court.
Chain that.
However, the tennis court, though, those lights aren't working, and I'm not sure why.
Okay,
Someone-
that's your list.
Someone asked me if I could come up there and turn them on, and I went up there, and it would not work. I don't know if it's a bad breaker or, but I'm gonna look into it.
Okay. Now, are they on a switch or they burn so many hours a day?
There's a switch you can turn on to turn them
Yeah,
on.
okay, but those don't need to be done on, right? That being said, next up is unfinished business. Of course, being a brand new board, I don't imagine anybody has anything. Okay, up next we have new business. Of course, we got a lot to talk about here. If you will look, James, is the bylaws in your packet or is it?
It's in there, in binders.
Okay, if you look in your binders, under the red pad, the bylaws and state code, here is the new bylaws as presented and approved by the Nicholas County Commission. Very few things have changed. We just added in as many representatives of the interests of the park, including the 4-H and stuff like that, to the board. Very little things otherwise changed, set up a new schedule, so of course your appointments, as you'll find also on another page in your binder, go to show the expiration of the terms of office. And the only other thing, well, there's two things. On the last page, the conduct of meetings, we just want to add in for you all to consider that the board just followed Robert's rules. That was not in the previous bylaws, and we just wanted to make that forward. Of course, that's what the city and the county use and everything else. And then in the officer section, the commission did vote to have to consider that the president of the commission be selected by the county commission, be a county commissioner, or otherwise be selected from the board by the commission. This is a way that we want to make sure that we have a good working relationship and, you know, keep a board. I mean, really, a lot of counties in researching, you know, what I propose to the commission. I mean, I'm the one who proposed it. A lot of counties just do away with the Park and Recreation Commissions and have a single manager who would run the parks, and I did not agree with that. I felt like a Park and Recreation Commission was a good thing, and that we should continue that. And then also on the last page also, I added one line that simply says, this commission shall cooperate with the Nicholas County Commission. Should the Nicholas County Commission, we should say, provide regarding employment, administrative, and professional issues. So basically that covers three things. We want to offer a manager employed by the commission, but the biggest reason that we want to offer that is, quite frankly, we can offer benefits and you know, hopefully bring a more diverse candidate pool. to come in to administer all these things. Has to do with the audit, which actually I had under new business, but I'll go ahead and talk about that also. I talked to Clerk Painter, and I know that the previous board was interested in potentially becoming part of our audit because it would be just a cost savings for the Parks Commission here. Actually, we can do that. It can become a part of the county commission's audit. It just takes state auditor approval. So I want to talk about that here a little bit later, but there is a possibility for that. And if not, I think, you know, that I can go back to the commission and try and get some assistance on that bill anyway. So that has to do with that. And then, of course, any kind of issues that now, and this is not a free ticket, let's say, but it is an offer that, of course, we have inside out of office legal counsel. I can't remember exactly what we call Mr. Bischoff over there, but in certain issues, you know, we need with rewriting some documents and stuff like that. You know, at the commission's discretion, you know, we can offer his service. So, Clint, sorry for just throwing that on you.
No.
Thank you for your service. But anyway, so that being said, of course, being a new commission, we need to create approved and bylaws. So is there any discussion on that? Or a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, the motion's on the floor to approve the presented bylaws and second on the floor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. That motion was made by Ms. Kaufman, right? And seconded by Mr. Eugene. Okay, so that being said, up next we do of course need to have an election for officers. Of course, like we said there, the president, for right now, as the commission approved, will be me. However, we want to eventually turn this back to, of course, just the citizens on this board, because, you know, we don't want to take control, we just want to help. And so just for getting this set up and everything else, legal counsel Bischoff and I have set up 2 or 3 different boards in the last 3 years, so we just want to help this transition happen as smoothly as possible to allow for this board to continue to grow. But we need, of course, a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer. Of the previous board, the vice president was Ms. Kaufman, the secretary was Ms. Spencer, and the treasurer, of course, is Mr. Kincaid, who is no longer on the commission. So we do need, I guess, start with vice president. We do need a nomination for that office. I can't nominate as president, so somebody else is gonna have to do it.
You the president?
Yes.
You're gonna be the president of the park and the commission, right?
Right. For now.
Well, Jennifer, do you want to remain as vice president?
Sure.
Second.
Okay. You want to make the motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you. So the motion is on the floor by Ms. Spencer and seconded by Mr. Gerald to appoint Mrs. Kaufman as the vice president of the Nicholas County Parks and Recreation Commission. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those against, the motion does carry. And then for secretary, of course, we do have Mrs. Spencer, if she'd be interested in sticking in the position for us.
I nominate Ms. Spencer.
I'll second that. I second
Of course, you have the right
We're gonna
to
second
make
and
accept or
third.
not. Are you
We're gonna
good?
second and third all of it.
Okay. Okay, motion's made by Mr. Gerald, seconded by Ms. Kaufman, to make Mrs. Spencer the secretary of the Parks and Recreation Commission. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry. And then for treasurer, of course, we do not have a former treasurer here, so we will need to appoint a new one. Ms. Shamblin, would you be interested?
I nominate Ms. Shamblin.
I didn't even jerk.
Of course, that job comes with assistance from Mr. Atkins and
I nominate Ms. Shamblin.
the eventual.
No, I was just kidding. No, I didn't. We were talking.
I nominate Ms. Shamblin.
treasurer of the Nicholas County Parks and Recreation Commission. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those against, motion does carry. So thank the three of you and the rest of you, of course, for your service to this board. I wanted to bring up next the regular meeting day and time going forward. Of course, this commission's always been on the third Thursday at 6 and/or 7 p.m. But, you know, new membership, wanted to see if there's any changes you all would like to recommend. If it works for you.
I think it does.
We usually change the hours is, you know, we go to 6 in the fall, in October, and go back to 7 in April.
Okay. So as of now, is 7 okay with everybody, or 6, sorry, with everybody? Okay.
Sticking with last or third Thursday?
Yes.
Still.
Okay. Up next, I wanted to explain the new member guide. The one that was of the previous board was a little bit dated, so I added the new bylaws. The Parks and Recreation Commission state code, I don't believe has changed very much. However, I wanted to provide you all with a cleaner copy. Of course, now the old member guide is still on file with Mr. James Atkins. But this is just kind of as of, I think, Friday last week, the West Virginia code, just so it's updated. And then from the previous booklet, there's still the general park rules, forms and documents provided from the previous board. And then there is a section on the expectations of standing committee chairs, and also a parliamentary procedures guide, just for the benefit of the board. And then are the employee manuals on?
Yes, there we go.
And at the very back, you'll find a copy of the employee manuals. That is something I think we'll need to address later, because that's actually the county commission's employee manual.
Oh, and I did a search for the computer in there, and there's no, at least there's no soft copy of one specifically for the park.
Okay. Because it constantly references county employees, and of course, the Park and Recreation Commission's employees are not county employees, and so we just want to make sure we're signing the right documents. So that might be something we need to work with the commission on to get that updated. Up next, I want to go back to the audit, and it's actually concerning the banking. Like I said, Clerk Painter did check, and the park can become a part of the county commission's regular audit, which we do through these state auditors. We do not have a private firm at this time. It just requires state auditor approval. However, I think that's something that this park board would be interested in, to save the park, I think it's $3,500 or $3,900.
Yeah, something like that.
It was advisable, I don't want to speak for Clerk Painter, but I'll advise that it might be in this park's best interest to relocate our banking and funds to United Bank, which would be in line with all county commission and sheriff and clerk bank accounts, and really, from the way I understood things, that should help our chances with the state auditor, just absorbing that into the county commission's audit. I mean, you know, the county commission, we're audited for millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, of course, through general funds and grants and coal severance and everything else. So I'd like to think $70,000 more shouldn't be a big ask. However, that's something that I would like to recommend for the board to consider. Don't have to vote on that tonight if nobody wants to do whatever, but that's something I would definitely recommend everybody consider at least. Any questions on that? Because I know that's a big thing for a brand new board, so I don't want to leave anybody in the dark. Any concerns with that?
I mean, with the pool and everything in.
Well, so the Parks and Recreation Commission will still have its own individual bank accounts, but it would be with the same banking institution as what the county commission has. Yeah, because I mean, our audit is about a 4-month audit. It takes 2 guys 4 months to do our audit, and so just in an effort to try and get them to add this to that, make it a little bit easier for them to gain all that documentation and stuff like that. I mean, we don't want to access the bank account, just the manager and whoever, usually, I guess, the president, the manager, or the treasurer, or something like that to the bank.
I haven't done an audit since I've been here yet.
Okay. Well, but yeah, but, I mean, we don't want involved in the bank account, we don't want county clerk on the bank account, just in the same financial institution.
I think that's a win for the.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because nothing changes except for the bank, Eugene, the accounts.
Do what?
We still have two separate accounts, the pool and the park
Right,
account.
right, that's what I.
Yeah, the only thing, we're just
Just-
moving everything
We don't.
to another bank. Just makes
And
sense.
I mean,
Keep,
I can't speak for the commission, obviously, I'm just one of three. But, you know, if the state auditor should even turn that down, for your all going to take the chance and try, I don't think it's too big of an ask for me to go back to the other two and just request that they even just reimburse the cost of the audit here. I mean, you know, because I mean, that'll be some paperwork and some changes for the manager here and the treasurer, so.
I don't see a problem with it.
I mean, you can move on tonight, but I don't even want to ask for it. I'll allow it, but I won't even ask for it just because I understand, you know, there may be some reservation.
I don't see a problem.
I checked, I actually have the documentation here if anybody'd like to see it, where I did go ahead and place myself in the bank account just because tomorrow's the payday. And we have a stack of bills about this much, and of course the president signs the check.
Do you have do they have a PCard or anything?
No,
Oh,
no, it's just a regular debit card, right?
okay.
It's a debit card, you can't withdraw money from the ATM or anything like that, so.
And that's something else too, actually, I did have my secretary at the county commission investigate if there was a P card here, and of course there's not. But for the auditor and a few other things, audit or not, that's best practice, we probably look into that. Yeah, and it's not a lot of paperwork, and in fact, with the actual P card itself, my secretaries actually came to me and offered to help train whoever needed to oversee that. It's pretty simple.
What is it?
I've had to do it a couple months. It's a state issued purchase card,
Okay.
and it's just run through the state auditor, and it's automatically tax exempt and stuff like that. Keeps everything separate, so you know what's going on, and then you just pay it off every month out of the general fund. Yeah, yeah. So that's something to consider later. We need to get a manager in place and everybody acclimated first before I can do that. But another thing to consider.
I don't see a problem with it. Matter of fact, just make things a little bit more convenient.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, really true.
We'd say that's $3,500, $4,000, wouldn't we? If they allow it.
You right? Yeah, yeah. With the changing of banks, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a fair chunk of change.
Hey, for a year, yeah,
Yeah, per year.
Yeah, and this is off topic for just a second, but that's why, honestly, I really didn't want to, but at the last minute I decided to just go ahead and appoint a commissioner, and it ended up being me. I mean, we just want to help you all get set up to the best of your abilities and then let y'all run with it. Really, truly. I mean, you know, we want to try to do your appointment to the Parks and Recreation Commission, but things just like this, the county commission now has a grants representative. That we can, you know, work together on some grants and stuff like that. I mean, you know, we have a lot of resources that we just want to, you know, connect to you all, and then here you go.
You can get it through the county commission, the grants and things.
Yeah, we have an on-staff grant administrator, and it's a shared position, but her only responsibility with the commission side is just grants. And we're still looking for more and more grants too, right? So that could easily be 4 or 5 different grants for just the park that we should be looking into. Local, and I mean, she's federally registered or whatever with all these federal grants. I mean, she's from top to bottom, she can apply for anything,
We just have to ask for it.
pretty much. Yeah, yeah. Well, and what I'd probably recommend is that it's to the commission's discretion. We've never turned down one, but we just, you know, with the sheriff, with the clerk, with the assessor, with the clerk, you know, we just didn't want anybody getting the full resource and nobody else. But so far, we haven't had that problem. So I personally, as one of the 3 commissioners, don't see a problem with, you know, applying for as much as we can for up here.
Well, sure,
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
because it's out there, they say.
absolutely.
if it's out there,
Yeah,
better
I mean, there's
strong,
local
take it.
money we could be going after right now that previous managers and administrations did not go after. So I mean, just right here in town, we're missing out on money for this park. So, I mean, I think it's nothing but up. But anyways, so right now, I'm the only person on the bank account. So that's the only reason I asked this part. We need to add treasurer general. Do we want to go ahead and transition banks now, or do we want to add her on and then transition banks later? I would say we need to at least make this decision for January, because that's when the state auditor's already getting ready to come back in and start their next audit. On the commission.
Do you
In other
think-
words, for the end of the
so
year.
The park could be included
Yeah.
as early
Yeah,
as
but
that?
they do audit other counties with their Parks and Recreation as basically a subdivision of the county commission. It's separate, you get your own report, whatever, but it's basically, they'll do the work, and it's already built in the commission's fee that we have to pay. We pay about $28,000 for our, it's kind of like a flat rate there, so we can kind of tack that on. And it shouldn't even really cost the county more money, to my understanding. Like I said, worst case, I don't think that's too big of a request to reimburse the park if they have to keep doing their own. Because we are interested in seeing the park improve, fines and everything else.
Well, every little bit helps. So I think it's a wonderful idea. As far as putting her on there, I don't know, you can do it all at the same time when you move, when you transition.
Well, that's what I'm asking, yeah. Do it in the transition or do it now in the transition. Give your recommendations on that.
together.
Just do it together once.
One time.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there a motion to
I'll make that motion.
transition to United Bank?
Yes, I'll second.
Okay. Motion's on the floor by Mr. Underwood and seconded by Mr. Gerald. Is there any further discussion? I think it'll be a good thing. They've been a good county partner. I've already checked, the park commission, of course, doesn't have any CDs invested or anything like that. It's just a general, basically a business account. So it should not be any issue. I'll just have to check and see what United needs from us. And of course, I can let you all know if anything needs signed or anything to make that change. But I think that'll be a good thing, so I appreciate it.
Whatever you think's the best, I think, wow.
It's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. Of course, there's no fee change or anything like that for just a regular bank account. So, and then back on the electrical, yeah, James, if you could just get us a list of what you think the electrical needs are back before the next meeting, and then that way we can just take a real good look at what's going on. And then actually, I came up here the day the commission did the resolution to recreate this commission, and James and I drove around. We visited the pool, we drove around, didn't really go into all the buildings, just kind of looked at, the trees and the landscape, stuff like that. And I noticed a few things at the pool especially. See, as most of you probably know, I'm a home inspector by trade, so it wasn't very long before I started finding quite a few large issues. We do have some foundational issues I think we need addressed at the pool building. Both corners are actually just kind of gone, where the gutters have built up and the center block is just disintegrated in both corners. We have some plumbing stack issues. We was actually talking to the pool manager, just happened to be there, and she had been pouring like chlorine and all this stuff and all the shower drains and everything else, trying to make things smell better. Well, the plumbing stack goes right up to the roof, and there it is. So all the sewer gas from the whole pool is just spilling over in the boys' bathroom. It's no wonder it didn't smell good all the time, because it's not penetrating through the roof like as a home inspector would recommend. Real estate's busy right now, but one thing I've been thinking back and forth, it probably won't be till January and February, but unless there's any opposition, what I'd actually like to do is free of charge, no compensation, no nothing. I would actually like to inspect the majority, if not every building on this park. So each manager sees exactly the defects, the pluses and minuses, whatever, free of charge. But then you see down to an outlet is wired backwards. You see exactly what's going on with all the facilities. So if there's no objection to that, I'll just try and work that into my schedule. But just so we all see exactly what's going on with all the facilities.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Me too.
I mean, yeah, like I say, it's gonna cost me some paper and some ink, but I don't care. then that way we just all see this now.
August, I think it was. WVU, we were given a free camp, because we use this for 4-H camp, a free inspection. And they were looking at specifically ADA and electrical.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get that report back, and James was great, he ran around with one guy while I ran around with the other lady, and he took notes and was already starting to fix things. But as soon as I get that report back, I will definitely share it.
Yeah.
And that's from the safety, and I don't remember exactly what their department's called, but they do all like the OSHA inspections through their department at WVU. But we got that free of charge in like August.
So you said electrical and.
They mainly looked at the electrical and the ADA.
Yeah, so like the roofs, the structures.
Yeah, they didn't look at
They didn't
any
do
of that
that
kind of
one.
stuff, though I did ask them to look at Craigsville Cottage because I'd like to look at trying to get that back and active.
Yeah.
So that she did put some of that in her report, but basically that was structural, so she couldn't put anything than just the floor needed fixed, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, as soon as I get that report back, which hopefully should be in the next month or so, I'll definitely bring that and share it at the next meeting.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. So if we can get an idea on that, that'll help you on your electrical. And then, you know, the structural and stuff like that too. Like I say, if there's no problems, I'll be more than glad to look through that.
Well, that's basically just going to give us a ballpark idea of what we need to deal with in every building on this park. Because I'm sure there's not a building anywhere that doesn't have an issue of some sort that needs to be dealt with.
Right.
I mean, I'm looking around this room right here, I can't find anything right here, but I guess this is technically the golf courses, so we won't talk about that. But anyways, okay. We do have some personnel matters I'd like to address. But I'd like to request there be a motion made to enter executive session to discuss this. Motion on the floor by Mr. Gerald,
I'll second.
seconded by Mrs. Kaufman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry. If anyone's not a board member, please leave the room. Okay, we'll need a motion to adjourn executive session. It is 7:31 p.m.
I'll make
that motion to adjourn.
Okay, the motion's on the floor from Mr. Underwood
I'll second.
and seconded from Mrs. Kaufman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry. That being said, note for the record, no decisions were made during the executive session. Up next, we do have what will be President's comments. I have two quick things. Some of them aren't here tonight with, like for example, the veterans and the athletics. You know, like our 4-H representatives, and I'll get this to the other ones that aren't here. But those that represent specific interests and groups, if you could please just step back with your organizations. And really what I'd like to see, even if we can't address them all, is a list of immediate needs that you all think that we need to consider as a Park and Recreation Commission. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who is on here, has stayed on here, and those that were on here before. I think that this is a good opportunity for us to keep growing this park. I'm glad to see that the commission has, you know, stepped up their involvement also. But it comes down to you all, so thank you all especially. That being said, is there any board comments? Hearing none, of course, the next meeting will be the third Thursday of next month at 6 p.m. Is there a motion to adjourn the regularly scheduled meeting of the Nicholas County Parks and Recreation Commission, Thursday, October 28th, 2021 at 7:31 p.m.
I so moved.
Motion on the floor, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those against, the motion does carry.